Nothing says summer like these beautiful grilled and braised pork steaks. Is it fork tender? Dang right it is. Today we're cooking up one of my all-time favorites. This is what I grew up on. It's known as a pork steak. What it is, it's a steak cut from the shoulder or the butt of the pork. First thing I want to do is get these things soaking. So since it's a thinner meat, we're going to go ahead and marinate these, and you can do this the night before. Once again, I want to take 2 cups of our pork marinade and mix that in with 20 ounces of water. This is an important step because just like ribs or pork butt or anything, you want to get that flavor and moisture inside of the meat. So I'm going to go ahead and let these guys just soak. And I like to do this the night before, or at least about an hour to 2 hours before cooking. So I'll let these guys soak for about an hour today. So I'm going to go ahead and leave them just like that. You can dab them off a little bit. I want to leave some of that marinade on there as our binder again. So first up, I'm going to go ahead and hit them with our all-in. But all-in is going to be a perfect seasoning for these pork steaks as your base layer. Again, it's going to have salt and sugar, some black pepper and some garlic in there. I'm going to go ahead and hit them with the original dry rub, and this is going to give them a beautiful color and a little bit of that traditional barbecue flavor that Blues Hog is known for. All right guys, I've got my go-to lit up here. I'm using lump charcoal today. You could certainly use briquettes on this cook, which might even work better, but either way, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of wood chunks here. Today I'm running hickory wood on these pork steaks. The old tried and true. I'm gonna set my grate up on the top level. I'm gonna let my grate heat up and clean that off a little bit and get this drum smoker dialed in. All right guys, we've got the drum set up and ready. Once again, we're doing a kind of a hybrid cook on these, similar to you would a rib. Go ahead and get them on there. We've got a little bit of wood for smoke. We're gonna get some nice color, a little bit of sear on these, and then we'll wrap them up and let them braise. All right, I'm gonna check these pork steaks now. If you look at our dial, it's running straight up 300, even on the little guy. We can run a little straight up action, and you can see these guys have shrunk up a little bit. No major char or anything going on, but we're starting to get a little bit of that action right there. They're looking nice, actually. This one here's got a little bit more, so I'll go ahead and give them about a half spin. And I just want to do about the same thing to this other side before we wrap them up. It's been about 30 minutes so far. Hey guys, it's been about 45 minutes on these pork steaks, and I'm gonna check them out. We did one flip. Ooh, and that's what I wanted right there. Was that perfect amount of sizz, but not a burn. I'm liking the way that looks. So we've got good color, starting to get a little sizz. Let me go ahead and stick them in the pan now and give them the treatment. All right, so we got this color in about 45 minutes on that little go-to, and it was running straight up 300 the entire time. I like the way they look. They got a little smoke to them. Now the fun part. I'm gonna go ahead and cover them in Smoky Mountain sauce right now. And then of course, we're making pork steaks. We gotta come back with a little bit of beer. Let them braise in that. Okay, so we've got the pork steaks in there. Covered them in sauce and beer. Wrap them up tight in foil. You could set them in the oven if you wanted to, but we're gonna go back on the pit since we're cooking outside. We're just gonna let that ride probably for another hour to an hour and a half. Let those things braise down and get super, super tender. We'll come back and grill them off at the end. Okay, so we checked them for tenderness. Been about an hour total on these pork steaks in the pan. You can see how beautiful they are. That color is awesome. So now that we've got them out of the pan, I'm gonna go ahead and just set them back on the grill for a little bit, just enough to kind of set up the sauce. And these are gonna be very tender, so be careful when you pick them up. Kind of get that sauce set, little char on them. All right, now I've just been saucing and flipping about every 2 or 3 minutes, just trying to get a little of that sauce to glaze up. All right, so we've got them out of the pan. I've been flipping them about every 3 minutes here and just letting that sauce caramelize up a little bit. And you can see the color of them now is like perfect mahogany. All right guys, so there you have it. Nothing says summer in St. Louis like these beautiful grilled and braised pork steaks. You set the sauce on them at the end. One of my favorite of all time right there. I'm going in for that bite. Now here's the deal. Is it fork tender? Dang right it is. Check that out. Cut it with a fork. You got a little smoke ring. Oh man. That's actually perfect. I love the little bit of texture it still has. Not like pulled pork texture, more like a rib texture. Check it out, make it for yourself. Pork steaks, that's where it's at.